Chat, here we go. It's Joreuz versus Diaz. A best of 5 as Diaz looks to continue his streak of taking down European 1v1ers. He did most of them playing with them on a away server, but this time around, Joreuz is going to have solid ping. Both of them at 100, or sorry, under 100, I should say. Diaz at 100, Joreuz at 28. If you haven't been paying attention to the RLCS or our previous show matches recently, Joreuz in Canada now, able to get solid ping to US East and going to see if he can take down Diaz. Now, it's not going to be an easy task. Many people from US East, or people who play on US East, couldn't do so in the Salt Mine. It took really pretty much the likes of Daniel to be able to take him down. We'll see if the EU Salt Mine crossover can maybe handle it. Now, Joreuz's teammate Nas actually tried it already, but he did so on away servers. Similar ping to Diaz, but it's important to point out that Diaz is a lot more used to his ping than when other people meet him here on US East from EU. But going to be no excuses like that for Joreuz, who's playing on peak ping against one of the toughest players. But Joreuz has an X factor. He finds ways to win, and the demo is going to put him in the lead. By the way, today's stream and these show matches sponsored by Factor. Factor putting down $100 for the prize pool here in this match. Factor is a great meal prep service. Chef-made meals right to your door. And Diaz, he's going to bring a chef-made flip reset right to your goal line. Look at the ad integration. Absolute peak commentary. But a nice clip from Diaz. Exclamation point Factor in the chat if you guys want to check them out. I mentioned that I'll do a replay review. I'll cover any replay that you'd like if you do end up signing up for Factor. Oh my goodness, Diaz. Diaz, can you please let me talk about Factor real quick? I don't want every single one of your highlights to be me mentioning Factor, but every time you get the ball, you're throwing something crazy at the net. Air dribble reset flick, and now he has the lead. Diaz, another possession off the kickoff that Joreuz backs off from. He has not learned his lesson. Diaz to the ceiling this time on the reset, but a little bit too close to net. Joreuz rocking the new M80 decal, and I think it's one of the best. And I'm genuinely not just saying that because I'm running the M80 team streams. I really do think that that is a saucy decal, and especially one of the ones that works best with the glossy finish. I don't know if you guys all heard about the glossy versus anodized finish on the decals. A lot of teams bummed to find out that, something they designed around anodized ended up being glossy. But anyways, I would say even with that being considered, this M80 decal is nice. I'm not sure if they also planned theirs to be anodized. I think they maybe did. But it looks nice either way. Diaz double reset. Joreuz is actually being fairly passive in terms of playing against Diaz's dribbles. But he has been able to get the last couple saves as Diaz prevented from the counterattack unless this bounce goes directly into the net, but no. It's off the back wall. Diaz forced to make a touch to keep this away from Joreuz. Actually almost maintained possession. It felt like he was going to have to give it back to Joreuz. Joreuz making his shot now. Can't get it underneath the crossbar in time as Diaz rushes to the corner boost. Fortunate that he didn't get demoed. It seemed like for a second he almost tried to jump out to the midfield to steal boost. Joreuz sends this one high up the backboard, and it's going to be an easy catch on target. And a 4-3 lead for Joreuz. Is there a coupon code you can use on Factor? I think you guys... Now there's people in the chat who I swear are not paid actors asking me about Factor. But I already mentioned the gourmet meals. They cost a little bit extra. They are genuinely the best. Not just me saying that. Diaz. Wall to air dribble. His reset wave dash is sent directly at a patient Joreuz in net, who is so far being able to get away with this passive defense against Diaz. Will he wait on the goal line again? Diaz reset at ceiling heights. Delayed flip this time. Joreuz will not have the read as Diaz makes sure to get some power 103 km/h finish. I don't think Joreuz gets a touch on this ball. So all that power is from Diaz. Somebody in chat asking, is Diaz in the RLCS? He is. His squad is W7M, I believe, Esports. W7M Esports. Diaz, Wisty, and Royales. They played in this last SAM Regional as Diaz dribbles this into the top right corner for the lead. His squad finished just outside the Swiss, so tied for 9th. I think that is what they would consider that. Lost in Game 5 of the Swiss to not make the single limb bracket. So Diaz, I think he is maybe the best that South America has to offer in terms of 1v1. But maybe still catching up a bit when it comes to 3v3 with his squad. But I think Diaz has a long future ahead of him in RLCS. Diaz should be able to get a free goal here. Joreuz diving. Actually might make the save. Never mind. Diaz didn't get the power I thought he was going to. And instead of Diaz trying to keep Joreuz pinned back, he's just going to go steal the corner boost. He could have had, you know, a quick shot and tried to have both of them starve, but Joreuz in a tough position. Instead, he thought with the boost advantage, he'd be in good shape. That is not what happened. Joreuz played on pads seemingly effortlessly. He didn't even get this midfield boost, but he bumped Diaz in the process. Diaz was trying to get a clean steal. Joreuz rolling it into the net. Diaz now not taking it off the first bounce. Delaying his attack. Sticking around. Making Joreuz awkward. Joreuz not going to be able to make it back. And that's what I'm talking about. It's really hard to control the ball off the back wall. With 47 boost, Joreuz, he didn't want to commit immediately to jumping up with that ball. He could have done so and maybe stopped Diaz's dribble. But if he did that and Diaz plays passively, he'll just back off and eventually get another possession with even less boost for Joreuz, even, you know, more advantageous. So it's a gamble there, deciding when you can save boost and when you can't. This time Joreuz tried to save some and got beat. So with 30 seconds left to go, a demo sniped on the back wall, and Joreuz, for whatever reason, is wasting time. When he taps this in, it will just be a tie game. Maybe because he didn't want the replay to get played. We could have seen it if he didn't wait so long. But great read by Joreuz as Diaz was trying to play a bit of keep away on the back wall. He was able to line up where he'd be, take him off the map. Diaz, his fake, gives him a back corner air dribble to try and take the lead late in this game. Diaz places top left, but Joreuz pre-jumps and makes the save. Floating there in the corner that Diaz placed it in. Now Joreuz back the other way, working on 20 boost. He wants a demo or an undercut. Didn't get either, but he did get 100 boost from the corner. Diaz has some of his own. Oh my goodness, what a flick to keep this ball up. Look at this shot from Diaz. Surely this ball should be hitting the ground, but Diaz flips underneath it, pops the ball with the tail end of his flip, and then a smooth catch leads to an open net. No wonder Diaz couldn't read that was what's going to happen. He tried to make a play on the ball right when Diaz popped it. What a crazy 0-second finish. And Diaz takes the early series lead. Game number 2. Joreuz and Diaz. Joreuz immediately from the ceiling. The pogo fake, it seems. Although I'm not sure he faked it. Seemed like he maybe just missed it, but he actually had a great backup. Landed, put it in reverse, and almost flicked it over the top. I don't know if you guys ever watch a lot of speedrunning content. For some reason, it comes to mind as all the best speedrunners have really good backups. Just because the initial plan didn't work, as long as you have a great backup every time, you can make almost anything happen. It's of course the same in 1v1, and Joreuz tried to make something work with his backup. This time around, it didn't work out, but steal in the midfield leads to a tie game. Diaz, so willing to dribble the whole field. Every time he has possession, he'll do it. And this time, he's able to place it away from Joreuz in net. Joreuz has not been pre-jumping. He has not been trying to meet Diaz in the air. He's been waiting on the goal line, banking on the fact that he can just make the read or make the reaction. And if Diaz doesn't put power on the ball, he could be right. But the problem for him is Diaz is finding a ton of power. I just really don't think that's a reliable way in the long run to play against Diaz with how mechanical he is, how little mistakes he makes in those situations. But Joreuz did have a close match in game one. Diaz smooth catch the ensuing flick. Maybe not exactly what he wanted. But he will get a boost steal as he attempts to keep Joreuz from clearing it. Joreuz finds a way out and actually will have a counterattack. So a bit of aggression from Diaz in an attempt to pin this in. Using a single jump, using a flip. I mean, that's all in when you're in the back corner of your opponent. It means you highly expect to win that interaction, and Diaz did not. Diaz, another kickoff in his favor. This has been a huge part of his game so far. He didn't get that reset, though. Joreuz recognizing the opportunity to take the ball away. Diaz fell far away, and I wonder if Joreuz could tell as well. He did not need to worry about a reset. Diaz, kickoff goal to tie it up. And the kickoffs have definitely been favoring him. Now, he hasn't had a ton of these direct kickoffs. It's mostly just been wall-to-air dribble wins on the side wall, which, when you're Diaz, sometimes those can feel just as easy as these direct kickoffs. Can he get back to this one? He can. Can he get another save? No. Joreuz clapping back right away with a kickoff goal of his own. And he put a ton of power on that, and yet Diaz still almost got it. And there was a way that he could have gotten an additional save using that post. Although I don't know how he would have gotten it out. Even if he stopped on the goal line, he just would have had to make another attempt at a save. Joreuz makes no touch on this ball. Not really sure why. I want to go back and see. Joreuz, he just flipped away from it. He landed goal side of the ball and then flipped to the left instead of towards the ball. I don't know if it's just a finger slip or what. Diaz places this one too high, but close enough that he gets Joreuz to respect it, which means he uses the little bit of boost that he did have off the kickoff. But Joreuz doing a great job clearing this one out on 0. Going to be able to buy himself more than enough time to grab 100, but Diaz back to where he's comfortable. Dribbles for the full field. Didn't seem like he could decide what to do, but it doesn't really matter when Joreuz isn't looking to take that ball away. He lets him land and reset up, and nothing comes of it. Joreuz, oh my goodness! It's fortunate that he got the demo. He got an insane amount of power on that flick, but it went too high. If he didn't get the demo, he's probably getting scored on. But he took Diaz out of the map. Oh, look at the placement from Joreuz. The delay on this dribble. He sees Diaz up in the air, and he slow plays it away from him. And that's actually great recovery, too, from Diaz, using the diagonal flip to try and put himself back in a relevant position. Still wasn't good enough. Credit to Joreuz and the mix-up on his dribble. We'll definitely see Joreuz go to this a lot, where he completely disregards the kickoff. He is one of the most willing players to do that. He is another possession in the back corner. He very much prefers the air dribble game. And even though Joreuz is able to make the first save, Diaz back down on the ground for the follow-up. Joreuz had pre-jumped that, and that's what resulted in him not being able to make a strong save. Basically had to let go of boost for the latter half of that dribble in order to make the right touch. That resulted in the ball just falling essentially straight down to Diaz. Joreuz is finally going to pre-jump, and it actually works out. Diaz tried to accelerate it over the top of him, and now he's going all the way to his back wall. Is he going to try and redirect this the whole way to field? No, it seemed like maybe he just went for the safe option of dropping it down into his corner, and it actually should have been a terrible position for him. Used up all his boost on that setup. I thought he was going to be in trouble, but his immediate challenge pushes Joreuz back into the blue corner, so gives himself time to set back up as Joreuz is going to walk him out of net and then return for the shot. Diaz, he pre-flipped. It's hard to blame him. He tried to rush back after he got pushed away, but Joreuz had the wherewithal not to just power a shot, but instead chip one. The mix-up makes Diaz fly past, and not only that, it keeps Joreuz glued to the ground, so even if Diaz does happen to get a touch, the follow-up for Joreuz will be there. The lead, though, instantly neutralized. These standard kickoffs have favored Diaz this time. He forces it off the right wall. He's going to force it towards the right wall again. I don't know what he's doing with that final flip. Joreuz was clearly going to beat him to the boost. And as soon as you recognize you're not going to win a race to a corner boost or a midfield boost, you usually just give up on it. But for some reason, Diaz, despite very clearly not going to be able to steal it from Joreuz, maybe he wanted the demo or something? Either way, he doesn't find either of them. And then Joreuz shows him why you shouldn't race and lose the midfield boost. Now Diaz has a chance to show Joreuz why you shouldn't race and lose, as he has a reset, but can't do anything with it. The difference in that one is that Joreuz at least had forced the ball into the orange half, so Diaz not able to play as quickly. He had to get out back around the ball, give Joreuz a bit of time to recover. Joreuz is going to get stopped now as Diaz ties the game 7-7. Delay kickoff from Joreuz, but it's still going to go in favor of Diaz, who has boost and ball. Double reset. Wave dash save from Joreuz. My goodness. These saves are ridiculous. A lot of these shots are making it through 99% of defenders. Joreuz putting a little bit extra on his flick. Using the tail end of his car. He's got 58 boost. He's sticking around. Trying to set this one up on the side wall, but he will back off. Diaz going to be there first. But even that slight fake, like he was going to head up, got Diaz to get rid of the ball quickly. Now Diaz, can he avoid the demo? He can't. He wanted that back corner boost. He probably needed that back corner boost because he was going to be on 0. So he made a play for it by jumping over the top, seeing if he could sneak a little bit of the hitbox on that right side. Instead, he did not get it, and he still got demoed. Joreuz half flipping into nets, does make the save. 4 seconds left to go. Diaz dropped that down. That will end the game. Joreuz going to tie the series 1-1 with a best of 3 that separates them. Game number 3. Joreuz and Diaz. A close match both times around. Or sorry, close games both times around. Joreuz is going to intercept this one right away. He has set a precedent so far in this series, whether intentionally or not, that he will not attack Diaz, that he will turn in shadow. And this is the farthest thing from a turn in shadow you can possibly do, which is rush as quick as possible to meet him in the air. And he intercepts for the first goal. I am Bardman. Thank you for the 18 months of Prime. Much appreciated. Joreuz, another speedy play. If there's one thing that Diaz has been doing, it's been telegraphing these air dribble setups. I mean, every time he has the ball, whether it's the back corner, side wall, he wants to get to those air dribbles. And Joreuz, for the longest time, was just letting him. He was letting him do it. And he seems to have made a very intentional decision to stop that. I don't know if you guys have seen the YouTube videos where YouTubers would talk about, oh, we're going to play very defensive, and then halfway through, we're going to switch it up. I don't know if Joreuz made as intentional, of a decision to try and back off and now switch to being ultra aggressive, but it's going to have to be Diaz who adjusts, or Diaz can just continue to farm kickoffs and it's not going to matter. I have the wrong flag for Joreuz. Are you saying because it should be a Canadian flag? Give him a US flag? No, he's not in the US yet. If anything, it'd be a Canadian flag. Joreuz clearing this one into the orange corner. Oh my goodness. The aggression on 0 boost. Diaz is finally going to get an opportunity to set this up clean because he knows Joreuz is low. Double reset for Diaz. Couldn't get back to the ball, and might even be a counterattack for Joreuz. He decides to send this one to the ceiling. Ground pinch on target. Diaz is back. Diaz back the other way. He's going to react to Joreuz's pre-jump. Wait, this has blue trail. It was hard to see, or it's hard to see what Joreuz was doing back here. But this is great adjustment by Diaz. Oh, Joreuz could have had the save. It's super awkward, though. There's probably some way he gets the clear. He did put blue trail on the ball, which means he was the one to score it. I'm not sure we can call it an own goal, though. Where would you put Diaz in the top 10? You know, it's hard to say, but if you do look at RL duels, that goes based off elo and, you know, all of his matches, nothing to do with opinion. He is currently rated number 2 behind Daniel. Daniel getting 1 off of his salt mine performances. Diaz working his way up to number 2 off this recent streak after the salt mine ended, playing against these EU players on USC servers. But maybe he's going to lose some points today if Joreuz can keep this up. Joreuz able to steal the ball away in the air. Is that a website? Yeah, rlduels.gg. I think somebody added a command for it today if a mod wants to use it to guide people there. I love the site. Just a passion project for the guys who make it, as Diaz almost being forced to play a bit more ground game than maybe he was before. But he does so quickly off a kickoff and flicks over the top of Joreuz. Joreuz in the back corner tries to low 50 Diaz. Tried to intercept that ball on his back wall, couldn't do so, and then tried to beat him down here on the ground. And Diaz will get win after win after win and will be rewarded with a goal. Wave dash kickoff for Joreuz. Still not able to get to the midfield boost first, though, as Diaz backs up. Doesn't play the dribble immediately on that first touch. He's trying to get Joreuz up in the air. Joreuz has been so aggressive. Thought maybe, you know, a couple of those bait setups would get him to jump, but they didn't. He went for the air dribble bump, and Joreuz got around it. So Joreuz showing how to defend against one of the most prolific scorers in 1v1. But as I say that, he does find himself out of position. He has forced Diaz, though, to completely switch up his offense. No longer can he get away with those big dribbles. He's having to try and fight for possession around Joreuz and get these breakaways. So far, he has found the answer. Up 5-4. As he taps one on target. Joreuz, a big clear with no boost. Does force Diaz. Diaz maybe could let that bounce off the back wall, but he was such a dangerous play, especially with the lead. So he does put it into the corner. Joreuz sends another one on target. Diaz trying to counter. So much power on the shot, and he will. Joreuz was making all these plays on no boost. I mean, he did quickly get 100 and rush back as much as he could, but Diaz, man, booming that ball. Feels like it's been a while since either one of these guys has had even a multiple goal lead. I think Joreuz might have had one early on. Now it's Diaz with a 2-goal lead. Diaz, so much height on that reset. Meets Joreuz in the back of the net to give him a nice little head bump. Joreuz not able to connect on the demo. You can see that was his last-ditch effort. He was going to be able to stop Diaz. It was going to need to be off a bumper demo. Diaz, can he finally get back to the wall to air dribbling he loves? This one not really aimed at net at all. Joreuz thought he saw a chance to take it away, and he's going to drop the GG in game number 3. He saw Diaz landing so far away from the net, thought I'll go steal this right away from him, but no. It's a quick catch and a huge arcing flick, about as high as you could possibly put it with it still going in. And it finds its way just underneath the crossbar. That's a GG from Joreuz as he wants to go next. 2-1 lead in the best of 5 for Diaz. Hit this with a no problem, Diaz, if you think it's okay. No problem. All right. Game number 4. We had to restart the lobby. Let me update the header here. Gets a little bit bugged when we have to recreate the match. But Diaz up 2-1 in game number 4. Diaz has a ceiling reset, but not enough boost to get back to this one. Could have scored it falling to the ground with maybe 150 boosts. Instead, I have to go again. Joreuz thinking about that ceiling challenge. Does decide to fall off the ceiling. Saved all of his boost, though, in the process. Diaz air dribble bump. One of the first we've seen in the series. And it will connect. You can see this high pop of the ball using the air roll from Diaz at the end. And protecting it from Joreuz. Big kickoff for Diaz. He's got himself a full field dribble opportunity, one that Diaz basically never passes up. But he needs to get those resets a little bit farther away from the net. Right now, he's deciding to get them near the goal line. That makes it a lot easier for Joreuz to read. If he's holding that reset the whole way and can threaten it at any time, Joreuz doesn't know when to challenge. Of course, all of that is easier said than done when you're trying to go the distance of the entire field. Joreuz starting one from his box. Late use of the flip. Diaz somehow finds a way to save it. It looked like Joreuz has gotten over the top of it. Not only that did Diaz save it, but he pre-flips out ahead. It seemed like Joreuz wasn't even worried about getting to the boost first. Thought for sure he'd get it, and then an air dribble bump. Joreuz drops the wow. He felt like he should have gotten the save, I guess. Diaz, I mean, he bumped him technically, but I'm not even sure that Joreuz got a touch. He tapped it back behind him after landing. It's a 2-1 lead for Diaz. Joreuz undercut as Diaz heads to the back wall. Will Joreuz meet him high? Does pre-jump. Forces Diaz down to the ground. Now he has a more standard dribble. Wasn't necessarily faking on that flick because he held it for so long. I think his opportunity to use the flip went away. Joreuz from the ceiling might be able to intercept this and get something out of it. Yes, he does. Crossbar down. He'll follow it up. Diaz lost control as he started off the back wall and never regained it. Wave dash kickoff for Joreuz successful as he wins the race to the sidewall boost. Diaz, a wave dash and then a challenge. Joreuz low 50 works perfectly. Diaz maybe telegraphing the challenge a little bit, although I feel like oftentimes people who go for that wave dash then hit the brakes because they know how all in of a play it was, but Joreuz was prepared for it. Diaz quick goal. Diaz forcing this kickoff to the left. Gonna allow Joreuz to take it into the back corner. Grab his midfield boost. Joreuz, another low 50. Diaz, own goals technically, but he was in big trouble. Joreuz is about to get it out and around him. He's been very patient behind the ball. And Diaz has ended up outplaying himself a couple times, whether that was diving earlier on his wave dash into challenge, or this time kind of panic flipping over the ball, while Joreuz just sits and waits patiently behind it. There's a bump from Diaz. He put nothing on it and allows Joreuz to get the save. Seemed like it should have been a Diaz goal. He's going to try and make something happen off this dribble that's headed away from the target. Brings it back. Joreuz dashing as he comes out of the net, but decides to bail on attacking the ball. Allows Diaz to stay in control. Now will pinch it out for a little bit of space, but still possession for Diaz as he takes the skies. Pre-jumped by Joreuz, who matches him, but now he needs to figure out what to do with the ball. Ends up not being able to do anything, so it is still a Diaz possession despite Joreuz being able to stop that one. Now Diaz with the resets goes to the ground level. Joreuz has made some unbelievable reads defensively when it comes to stopping these shots from Diaz, who has done a good job of mixing up and placing well. This one I thought for sure would sneak under Joreuz, but no. He manages to get the save. He gets forced into a pool shot to send the ball off target. So Diaz just a late save as he resets on the side wall. He loves these dribbles. He's finally going to get one. Joreuz has been doing his best to stop him. Gets the reset at ceiling height. Fakes the flick, and Joreuz covers it again. I mean, it's ridiculous. Diaz has shown that he can launch this flick into the top shelf, and yet Joreuz is still not overcommitting. Unfortunately for him this time, Diaz is around to follow up after the initial save. Cresper, thank you for the raid, by the way. Diaz reset. Seemed like he was trying to place top left. Felt like Joreuz wasn't covering that, but the danger in going for that is that you can end up hitting that back wall. There's so much back wall, whereas, you know, even if Diaz shot more center than net into where Joreuz is able to make a save, he at least wouldn't have to worry about that back wall pass. That happens on occasion when you miss. And now, down one with a minute left to go. Joreuz trying to force game 5. Brings this one to the ground. It's challenged by Diaz. He backs off as Joreuz gets a midfield touch. Joreuz fortunate that Diaz ended up slamming it just a bit high, as he definitely had the outplay with that flick. Now trying to maintain possession as he heads back into the orange half. Joreuz got one touch on the ball, but Diaz will take it right back. Seems like Diaz is going to have to score on this possession. If he ever hands control back over to Joreuz with so little time, not likely to be able to get out of that situation. He's still okay as long as he can get this ball from him the next couple moments, but Joreuz clearing this to the back corner. Boost advantages for Diaz, so here's his last opportunity. The hook shot stopped, and I'm not sure Diaz is going to be able to get underneath this and make something happen. Not on 0, so Joreuz is going to force game 5 in this cross-region matchup. Nothing scarier than Joreuz down 2-1. We've mentioned this before, but Joreuz, he just has comeback written all over him. Sometimes it almost feels like he puts himself down because that's exactly where he wants to be. But now he's got himself a game 5, and to secure the comeback, he'll need to win this game. Joreuz just a little bit caught away from this ball. Tried to catch it too quickly. He does make something happen with his ensuing possession. Diaz seemed like he was trying to decide whether or not he turned and challenged. He had 12 boost. He got to the moment where he had to pick one or the other, either turn towards Joreuz or turns towards the net. And he got caught between both decisions. That's what gets him outplayed. Joreuz, wait. Did Joreuz just own goal? What did I just see here? Yeah, Joreuz is like pretty much the only one who touched this ball. Yeah, Diaz faked it. I mean, Joreuz just carried it in. I guess there was a touch. I think that it's slow mode there slightly, which means Diaz did touch it. But I think that was mostly a Joreuz own goal. Joreuz, he's been using that low 50 a ton. This time didn't go as well as he would have hoped. Only barely by a slim margin does he get away with it. It's Diaz off target. It's the demo. Little backflip flick to launch from distance without fully committing. He has a boost steal now. Diaz on absolutely nothing. Can he keep him pinned in net? This will probably be the moment that he scores. Diaz, no way he's making it back to this one. Joreuz scooping the ball in the air. Just putting the ball out in front of him when he has the boost advantage. Always going to be the first one there after that. Diaz going to get something off the corner. He'll undercut Joreuz. After that shot never had a chance. Has taken all the boosts on the map. So Joreuz has to be careful on when he leaves here. He does leave after sending the ball to the side wall. It does mean Diaz will have a clean possession, but Joreuz intercepts. And what's going on here? I'm DCing. Yeah. Okay. Wait, okay. All right. We're dropping frames. That's got to be a goal. I'm pretty sure that's a goal, and I'm pretty sure we're going to the next kickoff. And my internet's dying big time. Has it fully died is the question. Oh, the countdown is back. I don't know what's going on in the game. You guys on the YouTube are experiencing this with me live. Everything seems to be dead. And we're back! I don't know what happened there. Diaz gets a nice little outplay. I think we didn't miss too many goals. I don't know if the stream is going to pick back up right where it was before. No surprise that I left the party. But hey, I think we're back. Just a little brief intermission, courtesy of our internet, as Diaz ties it up. We didn't buy enough factor. Yeah, that was why. I couldn't pay the internet bill. But it's all right. We're back now. Diaz trying to slam one on target. Joreuz has to undercut this ball to get his dribble started. Diaz recognizing that his opportunity to challenge is before that dribble comes all the way back. Chat spamming the F again, presumably because the stream died. We're at least connected to the game still, as Diaz air dribbles for the double. Now Joreuz. A testing flick thrown on target. Diaz handles it, forcing Joreuz to the back wall. Joreuz so patient, not panicking in a moment where he puts the ball in danger's way. Diaz, he's starting his dribble so early, and recognizing Joreuz not reacting to it at all means he should probably just pull off the play. Diaz, late clear, trying to get it as low as possible, but can't afford to let the ball bounce. Sends himself wide over the top of this one. Joreuz is going to be a dangerous position. Diaz trying to rotate into the back corner to get a save. Oh my goodness, or to get boosted and then get the save. Just barely got it in time. Joreuz puts us on target. Off the crossbar and in. I could try and restart the stream. The stream is like fully dead. Get Feer Jr. to turn off his baby Einstein stream. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not what's going on. I think we're coming back right now. As I'm talking about it, it seems like the stream has returned. Joreuz undercutting Diaz, holding him and keeping him from getting a landing. Now he's going to go to his fake kickoff with 1:10 left to go in the lead. Joreuz handing the ball away as Diaz attacks wall to air dribble, or not a wall to air dribble. I'm lost. The internet has thrown me off. Ground to air dribble. The internet should be back though. He's been farming wall to air dribbles earlier. This time it is ground to air into an air dribble bump. Joreuz has been sticking to that wave dash kickoff at times. It still hasn't worked out for him. Like, normally those players win the races to the midfield boost every time, although the ensuing play will pay off for him as Diaz tries to take the ball into his back corner, but such a strong touch high to the ceiling. Cannot get up to stop the Joreuz shot. That was another wave dash kickoff attempt from Joreuz, but got sent over the ball, so did not get low enough in time to get the dash. Diaz, the fake! This time, he does not place the ball low. Joreuz has done a good job of both stopping the high shots and keeping his car position such that rolls under the bottom of him get slightly saved. So Diaz instead goes for the complete and total fake. Lets Joreuz go past the play. The ball bounces its way in. Diaz into the back corner, just pass this one to Joreuz. The wall dash has almost made it possible. In a crucial moment, he did not need to do this, or he needed to not do this, but he almost got away with it with those wall dashes. 31 seconds. He's going to need two kickoff possessions heavily in his favor. This one, I would say, is not heavily in his favor, as he does pre-flip into the corner. Joreuz has done such a good job of sniping Diaz, despite Diaz trying explicitly not to get demoed. You know, he's not just grabbing this boost and making himself easy to read. He is flipping through it, especially looking to get a dodge. It doesn't matter. Joreuz connects. Joreuz clutches out again. The comeback from Joreuz, unfortunately, the internet didn't show it all. Are you going to give us a pogo in the final moments? The internet should be back now, which is nice. We do have another match. Joreuz, the double reset pogo. Oh, could still count? It does. Easy. Definitely counts. Definitely counts. GG's. Thank you to Joreuz. We will end this match for him. The Game 5 win. He is able to do it to stop the streak that Diaz had against the EU 1v1ers.